Hey guys, welcome to RC Video Reviews for the first PilotJam of 2025. That's right. That's right. It was a rough start to the year between being sick and work and family functions. We missed almost all of January. Almost. But we did make it on the last day of the month. So we're here. Anyway, it's been a fun couple of weeks. Even though we haven't been doing the PilotJam, we've still been having a lot of fun. We've been goofing off and having a good time. And after all, isn't that what it's all about? I think so. We had a fantastic time at the RCVR fly-in, the fifth, right? It was the fifth one? I think it was the fifth one. Maybe the fourth. I don't know. They'll straighten me out in the comments. But we had a good time. Plenty of helicopter guys came out. And I want to give a big shout out to all the helicopter guys. Really amazing crew, man. They were really good. To come out and play with us and bring their helicopters and fly with us and have a good time. It was great. We had a great time on Saturday, and on Sunday it turned out to be more fixed wing, so it worked out fine. And we had just a spectacular weekend of flying. So for those of you who made the trip and came up to visit, I appreciate you. And of course, a big shout out to my boys Fred and Dave, because they're always so fun to hang around with. And this past weekend when we had the flying was no different. We had a great time. So weekend review, we did a lot of content on Sunnysky and a lot of testing. And I also have material on the fly-in, which I'll be working on this weekend. And I have a very special top secret video that's going to be posting, so keep an eye on the channel for that. But anyway, looks like on the first game, Jeff was in first. How about that? Jeff, H-Speed Jeff, of all people, with that Canada lag and snow up there, Jeff made it in first. What the heck? Congratulations, Jeff. You won the first game. Mike Morales, how you doing? Trying to be first? Good try. Good try. You weren't in there too long. Kahuta, happy Friday. Don't think I can make it to the PJ tonight. I got a Home Depot run. Oops. That sounds like work to me. Good luck with the project there, Kahuta. Drummond Stewart is here. Good evening, Sir Trumpington. Evening all. How you doing, buddy? Randy Hardy, drum roll, please. Bill is here. How you doing, Bill? Glad you can make it. Our newly retired Bill. You know, I used to be able to say I have people from NASA that watch my channel, and now I can't say that anymore because he's retired. Thanks, Bill. Kind of ruined that for me a little bit, I'd say. Anyway, love RC. It's a very long drum roll. The David Parker is here. We are honored with your presence, Mr. Parker. Thanks for joining us. We got a segment for you today. And Fast Freddy's here, the two guys that help me make RC Video Reviews what it is. Wowzy's here. How you doing, Wowzy? It looks like Fast Freddy hit an AI chat GPT and said something about give me a limerick, an RC limerick. And it's clean. It's actually PG. How about that? I'm surprised. He must not be drinking yet. Bill says, hey, Freddie, good job. Let's see. Jay Maselli is here. Hey, Jay Maselli. Keith is here from the great state of Massachusetts. Cold up there. And Dan Griffiths, hello all. If you stop in, make sure you say hello in the chat so we know who's out there. There's Philip Goodwin, too. Hello, he says. Sorry for you, John. I know, Bill. What's up with that, man? I used to have a NASA guy. What's up? What's up? Not okay. I mean, I bragged about that to people. All right. Anyway, let's get into the weekend review. It started out, it seems like an age ago, but the Genesis Mini Maiden with Bert Kammerer. You know, Bert's such a fantastic pilot, and not too long after he made my Mini, he went and got one for himself. And I watched him fly his too, just on the RCVR fly-in, which was fantastic. So nice little helicopter, kind of a sport heli, but nice. It's a nice helicopter. It's not a Smack 3D helicopter, but man, the visibility is great. Great for intro, new pilots, because it's small, it's kind of cheap, easy to repair, easy to see. So nice little helicopter. I like it. I like the Genesis. It's fun. It's a fun little heli. And then we did some Sunnysky material. And as you guys know, we did quite a bit of Sunnysky material, and it's not over. So before I go any further, I just want to give a big shout out to Sunnysky and say thank you. Sunnysky sent us a lot of stuff. They sent a 35cc, they sent a 4130 and a 25cc and a couple of ESCs. And I went back and asked them, hey, why don't you finish it off and let us do the 30cc and the 40cc, and they said, yeah, we'll put in a request to get those sent over to you. So it looks like we may be doing some more videos, and that would give us the full lineup for basically like a 60-inch class all the way up to 85-inch, right? So very cool, very cool. We're excited for that. And, the motors, no surprise, man. Listen, if you guys need a motor, look at the Sunnysky. We're going to talk about it a little bit in Q&A later, but one of the guys left a comment saying, hey, should I replace the motor I have? And I would say, look, if you've got a good quality motor like you did a PNP, you know what? Let's save it for the Q&A. We'll get into the Q&A. So anyway, that's that. Sunnysky 35cc. And then we did the video on this little bad boy. And I got to tell you, man, this M2, whoops, that's the wrong screen. Let's try this one. The M2 Evo Mark II is really good. I really appreciate flying this helicopter. And one of the things I like about it a lot is the spool up time is insanely fast. Like it goes from what you see here, no movement at all, to zing, you know, it's fully spooled up and the tail doesn't budge at all. I'm not exactly sure how they did that, but I've got big helicopters that don't do that. So this guy, you turn the head speed on, you know, get it cranking, and man, does it spool up fast, and this tail stays right where it is. So I had a chance to fly this during the RCVR flying and really did have a great time. Had a great time flying it. This is a really good helicopter. And as you guys know, if you follow the channel, I've had the OG M2, the M2 Evo, and now I've got the Evo Mark II, and I will probably always keep an M2 around because they're fun just to go out and goof with, right? It's a good warm-up helicopter, good to practice. If you're new, you can get one of these. And by the way, speaking of new, we have a new helicopter pilot in our midst. That's right. Hobie Kenobi is now a bona fide helicopter pilot. Shane has himself an M2. We hooked him up with an M2. He came up for the fly-in, so we gave him an M2. He flew it around and did fantastic. So bona fide, brand new RC helicopter pilot, Shane, who I don't even see in the chat. So Shane, you'll have to catch us on the replay. But good job, man. He did a lot of flying this weekend. He did great. So yeah, very cool. Very nice little helicopter. And then I got to tell you guys a cute little anecdote because, you know, for the longest time, I'm flying my helicopters, and every now and then I'll have Fred fly one. And, you know, one of the times early, you know, a couple months ago, I gave him a helicopter. He's flying. He goes, man, what the hell is wrong with this helicopter? This thing doesn't work. It's mushy feeling. And I said, I don't know. He goes, how much expo do you have in it? And I said, I don't know, probably 20%. And he goes, 20%? He said, real men don't fly with expo, John, on helicopters. So he shamed me into taking all the expo out of my helicopters. And I'll show you my configuration if you want to see it. I no longer have expo in my helicopters. Then he gets Bert gets a hold of him, and Bert starts talking a little smack to Fred about expo and telling us, you know, that the helicopter needs a little bit of expo to settle things down in the middle. So then Freddie takes my M2 and he goes to fly it during the fly-in. He goes, man, what the hell is wrong with this thing? It's all kinds of twitchy. How much expo do you have in this, John? I said, none. He goes, well, that's your problem. You got to have some expo. Can you put some expo in it for me? So Fred is flying. It's like being married, you know? It's like you can't do anything right. So I don't know, Fred. I'm trying to get him trained, but it doesn't seem to work. It's not taking. It's not taking. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying really hard, but it's not sticking. It's like, oops. Well, I mean, that was apropos, right? It's like going outside in a tornado and taking a leak and not trying to get wet when you're around Freddie. You know what I mean? That's just how it is with him. So anyway, it's all good fun. We have a lot of fun with it. You can tell we love hanging around and goofing off. We have a great time. So anyway, yeah, the M2, fantastic little helicopter. That was the first topic, right? No, it wasn't. Anyway, no, that was a video. So we did the M2 stuff. And then to wrap up, we did the Sunnysky 4130 520 and the 25cc 420. The 4130 Dave put on his extra 260, and the 25cc is on that airplane, was on that airplane right now. After we did the test flight, Dave took that home and took the motor and took it for himself. So that's Dave's now. That's Dave's motor now. He took that one. He took the 25cc. I'm sure he'll find something to do with it. But as you can see, he's doing the temperature testing. It came out about 87 degrees Fahrenheit after kind of, you know, it was about 70 degrees outside, and I wasn't kind to the motor, and it came down just lukewarm. I mean, it's really Sunnysky motors. I haven't been sponsored by Sunnysky for a very long time. This is my first round of sponsorship from them, and I still have lots of their motors in my stuff. So I can't say enough good things about Sunnysky motors. They're all really good stuff. And of course, the OMP M2, fantastic as well. Okay, so that's the week in review, and of course the PilotJam. We finished that off from the PilotJam. So it looks like we got a few people popped in. Rodeo Pilot, how you doing? Good evening from Longwood. Glad you could make it. Bill said something naughty and retracted it himself. Every day is a Saturday to me. I've lost track of time. I am a little jelly, Bill. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie, man. A little jelly about that. Freddie says, sweet little heli. It is. Shane must be out flying his M2. Maybe. He might be flying his M2. Dave Parker says, Hobie, one Kenobi is the man. He is. We had a great time flying with Shane. And then afterwards, we went out and had some dinner and some drinks. It was good. We had a great time. Fred says, I'm still finding my expo identity. He's a closet exponentialist. That's what he is. Exponentialist. That's what it is, Fred. You're a closet. We also found out Freddie's a closet plankster. We called him a plankster sexual. Because he was flying during the fly-in, and he did such a great job flying the fixed wing stuff. It's like, why do you even bother with helicopters, man? You're really good at the fixed wing stuff. So he's already flying 3D fixed wing better than a lot of people I've seen flying fixed wing for a long time. So yeah, we called him a closet plankster sexual. Isn't that funny? Tom Evans is here from Utah. How you doing, Tom? Good to see you. And who's going to throw the bouquet? Would that be you or Fred? Definitely would be Fred. Definitely Fred. That's not for me. I'm secure in what I do. Okay, that's it for the review stuff. Let's get into some content. By the way, I've got a giveaway tonight. Didn't know that, did you? Yeah, got a giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway. So you got to stick around. You got to catch the rules. You got to know. All right, first segment's about Dave. Let's cut to it.
I'd have to say it, as big a fan as I am of extreme flight airplanes and AJ airplanes. Never had a Pilot RC one, but I've seen them. I like them too. This is the first time I see somebody pre-drill for just about every existing X-mount. And that is nice. Even though I don't have a problem drilling them myself, it definitely saves a lot of time, and it's cleaner when it's done, and it doesn't take that much as a laser cutter. So shout out to Skywing. Woohoo! I like that. Very good. Whoever thought of that, that's the way to do it. Make it easier on us. Cool. All right. I thought maybe you'd like to see this. All right. Hasta la vista. See you. All right. She's ready to fly. Got the 25 cc's motor right there. 25 cc's. Oh, there you go. X6215, 420 kV. All right, from Sunnysky. Very nice. All right, so there it is. Same ESC. Ooh, come on, focus. Thank you. And we did a little work to the antennas. I like to do this. I make the executive decision on doing this for John.
Thanks, Dave.
If you don't like it, no, I know he does like it.
Yeah, I do.
I've done it before. So, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So
very
there you
nice,
go.
very nice, very nice.
I get a little something there. Alrighty, very nice. Oh yeah, and I included a black zip tie in case he wants to replace that ugly orange one, or if he likes the orange one, that looks great. There you go. All right. And that is it.
Well, so Dave, the thing about the ugly orange zip ties, I was trying to color coordinate with the quick connectors, man. You have to accessorize, right? So I was trying to accessorize, Dave. What's up with that, man? Don't pick on my zip ties. Those are Scorpion, by the way. Those are Scorpion colors, those zip ties. Yeah. All right, so thanks, Dave, for doing the swap out on the ARS 300. And let me tell you guys something about that ARS 300. That is one hell of an underrated airplane. I cannot fathom for the life of me why I do not see more of the ARS 300 from Skywing out at the field flying. That airplane is simply spectacular. It is really, really good. I would say probably top 2, top 3, right? It's really good. So if you're looking for a winter project, oh, visibility on that thing is spectacular. It does violent tumbling maneuvers, the knife edge spins, the flat spins, the crankshafts, the pop tops, all of it really, really good. That Air S300 solid. And of course the Sunnysky, the 25cc Sunnysky was just, top shelf. I think as far as I'm concerned, they're in the top tier of motors and power delivery. They are quiet, they're efficient, they run well, they don't get too hot. You just can't go wrong with those motors. So definitely on my most favored nation status when it comes to power delivery, that's for sure. I keep the zip tie and get rid of the RX. No way, man. Those RXs are spectacular. Are you kidding me? Oh, come on. The ER6 is fantastic, dude. I've got that thing in all kinds of airplanes. Great receiver. Okay, so that's it for that segment about Dave. Now we're going to get into 12S packs. So let's talk. I've got some stuff to share with you guys. Now, I know this is a little bit of a niche topic, but, I got to be honest with you. The more I fly, the more I'm kind of getting into, bigger batteries, right? And the 12S thing is a real thing for me. So I'm going to bring up the workspace and let's see. Do I have the camera on here? I do. I'll bring the camera in here as well. And there, of course, the camera is overlapping the images. So we'll just make this a little bit smaller, and I'll move that. And I'll make the batteries just a little bit smaller, and we'll move that up here. And now we can talk about the batteries. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to do is talk a little bit about the 12S battery. So obviously, when it comes to 12S, limited use cases, in this situation, these are for the Il Goblin Pro. And what I did is I finished them off so that I can use this is just a dongle that I use for charging. But when I'm not, this goes into the charger, and then I remove the dongle, and you just take this and just ram it into the model, and it's ready to go. So this is my 12S pack, and you can see that I've got the mains soldered in right here into the quick connector. And then when we're ready to fly, we just take the 12S lead right there, tuck it back there, and we're ready to go, man. Nice and simple on the Il Goblin Pro. Very, very simple setup and configuration for that. So really happy about that arrangement. Now let's talk a little bit about how we made them. And before we go, I want to talk a little bit about the charger. All right, so there's something you need to know about this. All right, so first off, we can make this a little bit bigger now. And I think I'm gonna hide the camera for just a moment. We'll just tuck the camera away. And what I wanted to show you is on the diagram, a lot of people ask about how you do this, right? How do you make this setup? And what I want to point out is if you look at, let me change the color of this one just a little bit. There we go. So what I'll point out is if you look at the very first connector and you see the little prongs right here on the balance connector. I guess my mouse isn't showing up, but if you see the little prongs right there on the balance connector, right there, so the first lead comes from the back battery, and it is the negative lead. So if you look at this is the negative lead right here off the back battery. All right. And then what you're going to do is you connect the first 6, and the red wire that you see right there, you cap that one. You don't run that to anything. The red wire doesn't get connected. You just cap it and tuck it away. Okay. And then as you continue the build, then what you do is you finish using the balance leads from the front battery. So on the far right side, you start with the rear battery leads, the first 6, and then you finish off the balance lead. I'll put another box on here so you can see what I'm talking about. You finish off the balance lead with the wires from the front battery. And on that one, the red lead is the last. Let me change the color because I'm having a problem with the filtering. Let's try red. Does that work better? Yeah, there we go. So the red lead right there is from the front battery, and you can actually see that red battery lead going into the front battery, right? You can see that. So that's how you do the balance arrangement. The first 6 wires starting on the right-hand side up here, those are, whoops, let me get a little color here. Let's get a little color. How about an arrow this time? Let's try that. Is the arrow going to work for me? No? Oh, there it is. There's the arrow. So that first lead right there, that is your That is your rear battery, the first black lead on the rear battery. And then you basically go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the rear battery. You cap the red lead, and then you go from the front battery. You start with the first black wire, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the last wire is your red one from the front battery. Okay, so that's the wiring diagram. And then the other thing I wanted to show you on this is for the series connection. What we do here is we take the ground wire from the rear battery and we solder that to the lead ground wire out of the front of the pack. So if you can see that right here, the rear ground it's soldered right there on that red heat shrink and goes all the way to the front. And then the series connector, you can see the rear battery red lead, that is soldered to the, oops, I'm moving the picture here instead of what I want to move. The red lead is soldered to the black lead of the front battery. And that is, let me just try and zoom in so you can see it. I know it's kind of rough to see it here, but I'll do the best I can to show it to you. So right here, the red lead from the rear battery is soldered right there to the negative lead of the front battery. You see that? That's the solder joint. You go red from the rear, soldered to the negative on the front battery. And then, of course, then to finish it off, use the red lead from the front battery into the connector that you're going to use. Okay, so that's the wiring diagram for the 12S batteries. And after you've got your wiring done, then you're going to want to, let's see if I can get this to switch to the next. Of course not. Doesn't want to switch. Huh. All right, let's see here. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, so there's our wiring diagram that we just covered. Then you're going to want a heat shrink, right? You wrap the heat shrink around it, shrink it up, put it on your battery tray, strap it down, and then add your dongle, and you're ready to go. So that's the 12S stick pack. All right, that's the construction for that. Now, what I wanted to show you about that, the next thing I wanted to show you about this one, it's a thing that I kind of had this V8 moment where I was like, oh boy, I didn't even think about that. When you're flying, when you're done with these batteries, here's the issue. You have this balance lead, so if you want to put them in storage mode, you have to do it on this charger. So you have to use this charger. Another thing I wanted to point out is that I was looking for balance lead extensions because if you use the dongle here, let me just plug the dongle in real quick. If you use the dongle here and you plug it in, then the next thing you have to do is plug your balance lead into the charger. And it gets really cumbersome to do that without an extension. So you really kind of want the 12S extension and you want to plug that in. That way you can just set this down wherever you want. It's no big deal. Don't worry about power or voltage loss. It's not an issue. It's non-factor. It works just fine. And then regarding these 12S extensions, these are not easy to find, actually. It's not like every hobby shop on the planet has these things. I found these at progressiverc.com. So if you're, and oh, by the way, I got the charger at buddyrc.com. So if you need a iCharger DX12, buddyrc.com has them. And if you need the 12S extensions, you can get those at progressiverc.com. And like I said, keep in mind, if you're using the 12S batteries, you can't just stick a regular balance checker on there. It doesn't work. It's 12S. So you have to measure your per cell voltage on the charger when it's plugged in. And if you need to store it or discharge it or do whatever to the battery, you have to do it on this device. Or whatever 12S device you're using. I'm not sure if there are many 12S chargers out there. I know this one, obviously, but I'm just telling you, it's kind of a weird thing because I got home one time and I had a battery that I didn't use at the field. And normally when I get home, I just plug them into a discharger and let them run. And I thought, oh boy, I got to bust out the charger and discharge. Now, again, I know this is a little bit niche, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because if you're flying 700s, all I can say is that I've been a huge, huge fan of this arrangement. And the reason for it is because it's so simple. When I go out and fly, it's a lot easier to fly with a 12S pack. I literally disconnect the dongle, tuck my balance lead right there under the mains, jam this sucker right in the helicopter and go fly. And then when I'm done flying, it's just like flying a 6S setup. That's what Fred said. It's like flying a 6S setup. So really nice if you're doing 700 class helis. I would encourage you to consider it. I'm a huge fan. And of course, these are China Hobby Line packs. So these are 6L 5000 70Cs in series for 12S. All right, that's the setup. So that's it. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on what's going on with 12S and to let you know that I'm a huge fan. And I know it's a niche thing. However, it's not just for helicopters. All right, it's not just for helicopters. It can also be for fixed wing. And I've been thinking about making myself some 12S packs for fixed wing. I'm actually thinking about it. I might do it. The only problem with that is then you're really committed, right, to use those batteries for that application, where if you keep them separate in separate packs, then you can use it. For example, if you were to make a 12S, two 6S 5000s, then they're just for the fixed wing plane. You can no longer use that, say, in your EDF jet, which from time to time, I like to take that Avani out and go fly that around. Anyway, the 12S thing, I've really been enjoying it and having a good time with it. Okay. The OMP M2 Mark II. I really kind of already covered what I had on that. I got ahead of my skis a little bit, and we already talked about the helicopter a little bit. But I think just a couple quick things that I'll say about it, and then we'll move on. We won't spend a lot of time on it because I already kind of gushed on it a little bit. But quick little thing that I wanted to show you. There was a conversation in Discord about receivers, and somebody said, can you use an an RP3-H? And the answer, of course you can. It's CRSF. So it's the protocol leaving the receiver and going into the fly barless that you care about, and the RP3-H is CRSF. So of course you can use it. My issue with using it is, why would you take that great big receiver, run it around here, wires near the motor, strap it in down here, deal with the antennas coming off the back, when all you need to do is something like that? That's an RP2 style receiver. And when I was at the field talking to some of the heli guys during the fly-in, they said, but I can't find the Radiomaster RP2 in stock anywhere, which made me sad, because that means I'm not doing a good enough job getting the information out there that says you don't need a Radiomaster receiver to fly Express LRS. You can use any Express LRS receiver in that frequency band. This particular RP2 style receiver is from Happy Model, and it's Express LRS. So it works. It works. You can use any Express LRS receiver in the frequency band of your radio. So if you've got a 2.4 gigahertz Express LRS transmitter, you can use any 2.4 gigahertz Express LRS receiver with it. It's fine. And one other quick thing that I'm just going to remind people, because this came up in Discord this week as well, don't forget to cross your wires. When you have to think about CRSF like talking on a phone. Okay, when you're talking on a phone, that's your mouthpiece and that's your earpiece, right? So when you are listening, the thing that's coming out of here, where did that come from? That came from the transmitter on the other side, right? And when you transmit, when you talk into here, where does it go on the other side? It comes out here. It's the same rule for CRSF. You have a TX line that has to go to the RX line on the receiving device, in this case, the fly barless. And then to get the telemetry back, the TX line from the fly barless has to go to the RX line of the receiver. So don't forget to cross those over. You go RX to TX and then RX to TX. Okay, you got to cross them over. Think about a telephone, right? That's the thing to remember. So again, RP2-H, I flew this helicopter all weekend. No problems at all with the little ceramic antenna. Nice and compact. I'm not worried about wires flying around anywhere. I put my little canopy on. That receiver's tucked in there, nice and neat. It's not going anywhere. And it's a nice, clean configuration. It works fantastic. RP2. Here at the end of the day, people were, there was a guy, I forgot who it was, but he said, well, but the RP3, it works, I'll make it work. And that's fine. You guys know what I say. It's your money, your hobby. But to me, that's like it's square peg, round hole, right? Why? This is the right tool for this device, right? RP2 style receiver works fantastic on this helicopter. It's the right tool for this helicopter. Does that mean you can't get your square peg in a round hole? No, you can't. You drive it in there, you'll get it it'll go in, right? It'll work. And like I say, your money, your hobby. If it makes you happy, then you do you, man. I'm just trying to show you why I was so stuck on, hey, RP2, that's the way to go. Okay? Okay. All right. There we go. I'm going to check comments and we're going to get going here. Next, let me go back to the desktop, give you guys something to watch. Oh, how about that? M2 right there on the screen. All right, let's see. Keep the zip tie, get rid of the receiver. We covered that already. There is a brand that would match the zip tie. I don't even want to, I don't know, don't care. Don't care. For video games forever. I have 100 planes. Wish I had any room left for the giveaway. Hey, you know what? You might tonight. You never know. Off access, it says Express, LRS, RX are so affordable. They are, man. They're the whip. Robert Ortlep is here. How you doing, Robert? Good to see you, man. Rock guarding 54-foot semi-trailer. I'm hoping to make it before the stream. Take care. Hope you have a great weekend if I don't make it. Well, hope you make it back, Robert. Borkbit said that's a cool little heli. Yes, it is. M2 Evo. It flies like such a bigger helicopter. I don't even know how they do it. Robert Burrow says, something tells me this is the mat he uses when soldering. Hey, man, no, it's underneath this one. This is the good one. The one for soldering is right there. See? I hide it. It's all hidden underneath there. See? Tricky, tricky. Glad you can make it, Robert. Pterodactyl 44 says, howdy from snowy Colorado. Ooh, that sounds cold. Fast Freddy says, the leg bone is connected to the hip bone. Bama FEV, hi from Alabama. I'm in Greenlee, Colorado. Okay, Mr. Orlep, your money, my hobby. David says, your money, my hobby. That's right. You're a funny guy. My daughter and son-in-law hijacked me from South Texas, caused my 30-something mind and the 80 body was worried for them. Okay. All right, guys. All right. We're going to get on. We're going to get moving here. Next topic. Next. All right. Gx12 versus the Boxer. A couple of things that I wanted to show you on this. Somebody asked me about how do they feel in the hand? What's the difference? I wanted to show you guys that in the hands, if you look at the, and Fred, no dirty comments from Fred. Okay. I'm just waiting for it. But you can see right there the gimbals on the Boxer and the Gx12, they're about the same distance apart, man. I mean, it's really close. So about the same distance apart. And I'd say width-wise, yeah, they're pretty much directly on top of each other width-wise. The only real difference is in the height. And the Gx12 is just a little bit shorter. Like when you're holding it, the gimbals are definitely a little bit lower. But, you know, I'm not saying that's a problem. You just kind of cup it like that. You palm it like that, and the gimbals are in the right spot. And then on the Boxer, you're not really cupping it on the bottom. Your hands are more on the side, and they're still in the right spot. So, I mean, it works out okay. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys about the Radiomaster Gx12 is I took it flying, and I used my single model configuration, and it was really good. But I got to tell you, and the thing is, I just don't know. I don't know if it was placebo effect. But what I can say is these are the 1000 hertz gimbals, so very high refresh rate, and it felt to me like I had a much tighter linkage to the helicopter I was flying. It almost to the point where it was troublesome. So I would say if you are a SMAC 3D pilot, if you've got those twitchy reflexes to fly, this might be one to check out. I'm just saying it's $170. Try it. If you don't like it, sell it, you know, but you might want to try this one out because I get the sense based on my flying with it. I just get the feeling that I'll tell you what, I couldn't do it. I went back to my TX16S. It made me uncomfortable. It was too real. I don't know a better way to put it. And again, maybe a placebo effect. Maybe I just need to add a little expo. Shut up, Fred. Maybe I need to add a little expo. But I'm not sure. I'll do it again, but it did work, and it was great. It was great. Just very, very sensitive for me. Now, that said, there is one other thing that I wanted to show you guys because it surprised me, and it is a serious dependency. So first, I'm going to show you that I am on, when the GX12 came out, you notice the firmware version is 2.11 self-build. So for whatever reason, it probably had something to do with recognizing the gimbals. So they had to do a pre-release version of EdgeTX for the GX12. So it is 2.11, and I'm hoping they fix this in 2.11 for the Boxer. But here's the problem. If you're using rotor flight and you click on model and go left 3 pages, there's the custom scripts, that RF2 TLM. That's what allows you to decode the enhanced Express LRS telemetry on rotor flight. And oddly enough, on the Boxer, I did the same thing. Now on the Boxer, let's take a look. The version there is 2.10.5. That's the latest, right? That's the latest version. And when I click on model and go left, there's display, telemetry, and then we go straight to special functions. So I don't have the custom scripts. Now, if you know the radio, the first thing you'd say was, John, well, why don't you go to enabled features and take a look? So I did that. I went to enabled features and I clicked that, and I thought maybe I would see the scripts in here. There's logical switches, special functions, telemetry, and it's all on global. So, okay, what about global? So I did that too, just to be thorough. And when I looked at global under, let's see, under enhanced enabled features, right there, enabled features, I see global functions, trainer, heli setup, flight modes, curves, logical switches, special functions, telemetry, and that's it. We're back to the top. So the moral of the story is that I don't see the telemetry, the custom scripts screen that you need to run the Express LRS and expanded telemetry on the Boxer. I do see it on the Gx12. So Lua 1, RF2 TLM, and it works. The telemetry does work. By the way, I found a bug where it didn't work, and I put it in GitHub, and the EdgeTX developers, being amazing guys that they are, they fixed it. So this is a firmware that I got from the EdgeTX team to make the telemetry work on the Gx12, and it does work. So the single model configuration, it works. It's a champ. What can I say? It works. I love it, man. The single model configuration, definitely one of the coolest things I've come up with for helicopter flying. No question about it. So Gx12, if you are a helicopter or beta flight guy or iNav guy, you might want to check this one out. You know, you might want to give it a look. All I can say. Okay, that's it for that. Let's get back to the desktop and we'll check comments. Dave says, your money, my hobby. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you. Let's see. Off Access says, hi, Robert. Jonas Morin Serra says, hi. Jonas from Brazil. How you doing, Jonas? Glad you can make it. Or is it Jonas? Jonas, maybe? Todd Mosley from Alabama as well. Got a bunch of Bama people running around. What happened to your football team this year, guys? You know, I had to say that. You know, I'm a Gator. So, you know, seeing Alabama not being at the top of the, heap. I mean, I love the SEC, but listen, Alabama, you had a good run, but I think it's over. Just saying. I'm just saying, you guys had a good run. All right, let's see. Fast Freddy says, rubbing sticks. See, Fred, I knew it was coming. J Mad says, yeah, I made it. Yeah, Fred, straighten up and fly right, dude. Laura Harth is here. How you doing, Miss Laura? Glad you could make it. Thanks for joining us. Bama FPV says, what's up? Okay, straight as an arrow before midnight anyway. Peter has builds with Lua Mixer, custom scripts enabled for black and white radios. It's linked in the EdgeTX 2.10 release notes on GitHub. Looks like EdgeTX 2.11 will have it. Thanks, Robert, for clearing that up, man. I was a little stressed about that because I do like the Boxer. And, you know, I kind of thought that the both of them being black and white radios style, you'd have the same feature set, right? So thanks for pointing that out, Robert. I am super happy to hear that. We'll have it enabled by default, he says. Okay. I'm interested in that one for sure, the Gx12. You should check it out, man. They're out there. They're in retail now. You can get them. So you should check them out. Definitely should check it out. I'm telling you, you know what? I'll tell you what, Robert, I'm going to get on with Robert tonight. I'm going to send him this radio. I want him to try it and tell me. If it's me, what I want to know is it placebo or is it real? And I think Robert he'd be a pretty good judge of that. So Robert, we're going to get together, man. I want to make arrangements to send you this radio. I want you to try it out. I do. I really do. I'm not kidding. I want someone else to try it. So there we go. Auburn fan, says Todd. Oh, okay. Well, that's even worse, man. Sorry to hear that. Sorry. Auburn fan. Ooh. Yikes. Arlene LIWS is pilot jamming while on our way to Home Depot. And very nice, Arlene. Are you the one that gave him the honeydew list? You gave it to Kahuta, the honeydew list? You making them work, are you? On a Friday night during a pilot jam? Not nice. Not nice. You know where he wants to be, right? He wants to be home, sitting down, watching the video, messing around, chatting with the guys, but you're driving him to Home Depot. You're going to make him get that dishwasher and put it in, aren't you? I know what's going on. I'm onto your tricks. I've been married for 30 years. We just had our 30-year anniversary. It only feels like 50, but it's been brilliant. And the real funny thing about that joke is that I've been telling that joke so long. If you guys ever watch The Office, and you know how Stephen Carroll, what's his name in the show? I forgot his name. Michael, how he'll always do that's what she said. And then after a while, Pam would get involved and she'd hear the joke and she'd go, that's what she said. That's what she said. My wife, I've been telling that joke for so long that my wife now beats me to the punchline. I'll say, we've been married for 30 years. And she'll go, yeah, but it only feels like 50. So I love that. I think that's hilarious. You got to have fun in life, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. So that coming from a Gator fan. Hey man, somebody put him in timeout for a minute. I'm tired of the Gator jokes. Okay. We have Billy Napier and we have that new kid, the new quarterback. He was only a freshman this year. So, hey, bite me. Okay. Chiefs fan, of course. That sounds like fair weather there, man. Are you from Kansas City? You're just a groupie. If you're not from Kansas City and you say Chiefs, you're a groupie. That's the way it is, man. Chiefs were nothing before Patrick Mahomes, but that guy's beast mode anyway. So, yeah, Chiefs are having a run now, aren't they? All right. Okay. All right. Let's get serious. Hold on a minute. Let's get back to work here. We got work to do. Sunnysky ESC. Okay. Let's do the workspace. We don't need that anymore. 12S batteries. We don't need that. So what we need is a workspace. And no, we don't. We don't need the workspace. We need the big camera. That's what we need. Okay. I wanted to show you guys real quick. Dave had the ESC, and for whatever reason, he couldn't get it to work, but I got it to work. He's not our high-tech guy. He's still flying Futaba. Sorry, Dave. I had to do it, you know. But anyway, here's the Sunnysky. This is the Sunnysky ESC 125 amp. This was in the 4130 video. He flew at this one in the 4130. We did not fly with it on the 25cc because we were using it for the bench video. I will be putting out a bench video. This is the little dongle that goes along with the Sunnysky ESC, and you can see it's a 4-pin connector. It's got ground on the left, and then positive, and then it is RX and TX. I will be doing a production video, so don't worry about studying the material. I'll give you guys a production video, but there's the wiring for it right there. It goes in the bottom slot on the left-hand side as you're looking at it from the bottom. And then once that's done, then you're going to go into your app store and you're going to download the Sunnysky app. And there's the Sunnysky app. And you're going to hit the little Bluetooth guy and you click that. And then we'll look for this BLE 8474. We'll click on that, connect, and hopefully it will connect without giving me any grief. And then we hit parameters. And once we hit parameters, then we can go in and do all the configuration on the ESC. Had we had this little dongle on the ARS, we wouldn't have had to worry about reversing the motor while we were at the field, because you can click on motor rotate right here and change that from clockwise to counterclockwise. And then when you're done, you hit save, and there you go. You just reversed your motor. You can set your brake type, your timing, SR function. I'm not sure what that one is. You can set your cutoff voltage right now. I don't want it at 3.4. I want that at 3.0. When you see a star, that's the default value. You can set your Beck voltage, which is really cool. So if you want 8.4 volts, you can do that. You hit save, and there you go. You got your ESC programming right there on your smart device. Very simple to do. You just pair it with Bluetooth and off you go. And this works with the 125 amp ESC and the big one, the 220, I think, 220 amp ESC, the high voltage 12S jobber. So it works on both of them. I've tried it now on both. So Dave will be getting this back. He'll be putting it in one of his airplanes after I do a production video. I'm just going to do a quick production video to show how that works. But isn't that ESC nice? Look how clean that is. They also do have fans, so if you want to install the fan, you can. But very nice ESCs. Sunnysky, man, they're swinging for the fences. Oh, and Dave did make a comment when we were flying. Not a single desync. No issues with the big stuff. No desync issues whatsoever. He was just hammering that 35cc, no problem at all. Worked great. And he was using the Sunnysky ESC. So I really like that ecosystem. I'm going to have to get one of these ESCs for myself. Try it out. See how it goes. But anyway, there it is. Sunnysky ESC. Don't worry. Production video on that coming. No homework assignment for you on that. Okay, one other thing I wanted to talk about since we're here. You guys know China Hobby Line sponsors the channel, and that's what I fly in all my stuff. Dave will verify it. Fred will verify it. I have literally given away every other battery I have. Even gave Shane a battery this weekend. My very last Liperior, I gave it to Shane. So I have no more Liperiors. I am all China Hobby Line right now. And what I wanted to point out to you guys is that the 40Cs, love them. The 6L 4000s, 5000s, 70C, 70C. I may have misspoke. I meant to say 70C. The 70C 6S batteries, love them. I fly these in 74-inch, 78-inch, 85-inch, in jets. Love these. These have been fantastic. These, I'm not a big fan in a big plane. Let me explain myself. Notice these are 40C. It was cold. I'll admit it was cold. All right. I was in the pool. No, I'm just kidding. It was cold, a little cool out, and I went flying with my laser. I had 2 of these in series on the laser, and as soon as I took off, I had voltage sag, and they were charged. So I'm not real thrilled about that. And now what that tells me is that for higher amp loads, this is not sufficient for me on the 3D planes. They do actually make a 3070C. I'm going to try and get my hands on some of those. Now, that said, I'm sure these will be fine on something that doesn't draw quite as much current. So maybe a 60-inch plane would be a better form factor for these, okay? I'm not trying to say they're useless. What I'm trying to say is that I'm not a fan on a 74-inch. I'll put it that way, or a 78, okay? So 74 and 78s, I'm using these and love them. And then on the 67 inches, I'm using 5000, 6S 5000. So what I would say is that I have been flying these batteries now for I don't know how many months. It's been a few. It's been a few months. I've been flying them. I fly these all the time in my larger planes, the 74-inch plus planes, all the time. And look, they're flat. They still maintain a great charge. They give me about 6-7 minutes of flight time, depending on how hard I hit them. I'm not having any issues so far. In terms of, people always ask, what's the intercell IR? I'm not seeing anything abnormal. All right. I don't know what this one is. I don't have a charger set up, so I can't tell you what it is on this particular battery. But I can tell you that I do regularly inspect that. I have not seen anything unusual. I have not seen unusual voltage sag. I'm getting the flight time that I would expect to get, and I'm not getting any puffiness. So far, these have been working out well for me. They stay relatively well balanced, and I have no issues to report. That's the bottom line, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. No issues. These batteries are doing fantastic. Thanks to China Hobby Line for sending them out. I'm happy with them so far. This is a long-term review, right? I'm not saying that's the final answer. I'm saying that's the answer of today, okay? And we're a few months in, so more to come. I'm just going to keep you guys apprised as to how they're doing for me, okay? All right, David Parker says, I did get it connect, but it says to do this. Press here with your fingers. That's where I fell short. Well, that explains that, David. Mark Ebert says, just in the process of building electronic CG Cub, looking for recommendations of good and inexpensive 4S batteries. I'd say check out China Hobby Line. They've been working for me. That's what I would say. Check them out. Try them out. If you don't like them, what? Who did that? Who let the monkeys in? I gotta pay for some better moderators. But yeah, try the China Hobby Line stuff out. Maybe they'll work for you. I like them so far. Okay. Next up, Sunnysky. Oh, Q&A. Wow, we're already on to Q&A. What the heck, man? 47 minutes in. Okay. No, 42 minutes in. 47. Yeah, 47. I had it right the first time. Okay, let's see here. Let's do the Blackboard. Q&A. Q&A. If you haven't been here before, during Q&A, we talk about, I try and put comments and questions up that some people might be interested in talking about. Might be interesting to more than one person. Lee the engineer says, you might not reply, but do most LiPo batteries lie about how much discharge they have? That's a trick question. The answer to that question, as far as I'm concerned, is that a lot of times we know for a fact that the C ratings are often misstated. Part of the problem is there is no industry standard to measure C ratings. So there's a spreadsheet out there on RC groups. The guy does like high-level scientific testing on these batteries, and his conclusion was there is no universal practice in the industry for radio control batteries on assessing C rating. So bottom line, it turns into a marketing term. So what I would say is that within your chosen poison, whatever brand you choose, what I would say is that hopefully the C ratings are relatively accurate to each other. So in other words, if you take a 70C battery and a 40C battery and you put them through the same airplane, I would expect very different levels of performance from these two. And I can tell you in the case of China Hobby Line, I just covered that. That's exactly what happens. Okay, so I believe their 70C have a much higher tolerance or C rating for discharge and charge, and so than the 40Cs do. Okay, so that's what I would say. Now, in terms of capacity, the amp hour capacity, those do tend to be accurate. And part of the reason they tend to be accurate is because people can measure that. You can measure that with your charger. Most chargers will show you, hey, this put in this many milliamp hours. So people can measure that. So they tend to be much more accurate. So the capacity question, we go back to the blackboard here. The capacity question about how much discharge they have, I assume he means potential energy or stored energy. I'd say that tends to be fairly accurate. Okay, that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's see. What is this name? La Flamentros FPV. Is that it? Did I get it right? If I understand correctly, I'm in OpenTX and I want to put EdgeTX. I have to go through version 2.8 before going to the latest version. That is 100% correct. So 2.8 after 2.8, they removed the binary to YAML conversion capability on the radio. Okay, that's gone. So if you want to go from OpenTX to EdgeTX now, you've got to flash 2.8 or something earlier. It doesn't matter. It's actually, you know what? Let's just make it simple. 2.8, flash 2.8, okay? Or 2.7. 2.7, 2.8. Either one, you'll be fine. After you flash one of those two, then you can flash the latest version of EdgeTX. You'll be good to go. Okay? All right. Problem solved. See, we're solving problems here. We're solving issues. That's what it's all about. Andy, MSH 700. MSH 700. It sounds like a helicopter. Yes. Nice video. Just changed all my photo. Hey, Dave, this is for you, man. I put this up here just for Dave Parker. I changed all my Futaba gear on the heli over to Radio Master, now changing all my carbon fiber gliders to LRS plus Vario. So exciting and all-consuming. Futaba, RIP. Couldn't have said it any better myself. 100% accurate. R.I.P. Futaba. No, I know. Dave flies well with his Futaba stuff. He does good. He does good. All right, this guy says, this is Brian Heaton. He says, I love this comment. Cool video. Been looking at this unit, but that giant GPS on the tail boom looks dumb. I included my response in this one, which is why the box is misshaped. And it said, it doesn't look as dumb as a smashed heli that needs $200 in repair parts, though. You know what I'm saying? Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Can't say I liked it much. So I'll take a dumb-looking GPS on the back of my helicopter over a crashed helicopter that requires $200 in repairs any day of the week. Man, this aesthetics thing, geez, come on, get a grip. If you need a crash-proof setup, that Spirit setup worked fantastic. You guys don't understand. I literally gave that helicopter to Freddie. Freddie, if he's not sleeping yet, Fred, are you there? Wake up, Fred. Someone poke Fred. Ask him. I gave him the radio and I said, Fred, try and crash my helicopter. And Fred said, what? And I said, no, seriously, try and crash it. He goes, are you sure? And I said, I'm sure. Try and crash it. He couldn't crash it. So, you know, aesthetics, whatever, man. If you're in a point where you need a little bit of help learning, that crash-proof setup worked wonders. It was really good. Really good. All right, let's see. Ben Travis says, great video. Thank you. It helped me make a mix on my Radio Master Zorro. I love your test plane as well. Oh, speaking of the test plane, that reminds me, you guys need to go over to my Etsy store and check out my little RCVR test plane. This is 3D printed, so plastic. This one is PLA, I think. I've got some PETG, PLA. It doesn't really matter. It's not a high tension thing. This has been a modified version. I've cleaned it up. I made some modifications. I strengthened the tail. I did a little bit of a modification on the front leading edge, so it's a little flatter now. So this is like a V2, like V2.5 version. So if you don't have one of these little test planes, you should check it out in my Etsy store. Links in the description. RC Video Reviews. You get these, put your servos in, you can practice setting up your mixes. And that was the Hey, what's up with the rim shots? That was the reference here. He said, thank you. Help me make my Radio Master Zorro. I love your test plane as well. That was the reference here. It was test plane. Okay, so check that out. And yeah, the deal I have with the radio setups is I have that philosophy, teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime, right? So check out the mix recipes. It'll give you an idea how to create your mixes. So not real hard to do. Okay, let's move on to the next question or comment. This is from, I'm not even going to try it. I'm not going to try it. I bought an OMP M2 Mark II with a Zorro Radio Master 4-in-1, but then realized there's no integrated receiver. Is there anyone who can tell me what kind of receiver I should put in it? Well, the answer to this is that the M2 Mark II works with either CRSF or SBus. All right, so that's the local protocol between the receiver and the flybarless. If you want telemetry, get CRSF, which means you need something that can output CRSF. I don't think there's anything in the 401 space that does that. I'm not sure. I reserve the right to be an idiot about it, but I don't think there is. Now, your other option with 401 is using any other protocol, like D16, for example, or DSMX or DSM2 or whatever. But then you output SBus from your receiver to the flybarless. In that case, you do not get telemetry. Okay, just keep that in mind. Really, if you guys aren't migrating to Express LRS, you are going to be left behind. I've been trying to tell everybody this. You are going to be left behind. If you're not doing Express LRS, you're going to be like the guys that still fly 72 megahertz radios. Yeah, that's you. That's you. I'm just saying, it's a fact. You can not like the message, but don't hate the messenger. All right, D. Griffiths says, however, is it worth buying over stock? This is the question I told you earlier we'd talk about. So here's the deal. On the Sunnysky motors, if you buy an ARF and you have to source the hardware yourself, like ESC or a motor, I wouldn't hesitate 1 second to buy the Sunnysky. Okay, no question about it. Now, if you already have like a plug-and-play, then it'd be kind of ridiculous to take the plug-and-play, like the plug-and-play Skywing and the plug-and-play Extreme Flight. They've got really good motors in them. The T-motor, for example, and the Dual Sky, right? It'd be silly to take that out and replace it with a Sunnysky. So that I wouldn't recommend, because then you're just burning money, right? But if you have an ARF and you need to source the motor, absolutely take a look at the Sunnysky. No question about it. But the T-motor and Dual Sky are also very good, right? Those are, to me, all three top shelf motors, okay? Freddie says, and here I am still flying Hella and OpenTX. I think I've fallen behind. Fred, there's an old story. Fred's like the city of Cincinnati. You know, in Cincinnati, what happened? Jesus left and said, don't do anything till I return. And that's Fred. That's exactly Fred. I'm just hitting the rim shot all night tonight, man. I'm crushing it, right? How about a little round of applause? I mean, I'm hilarious. I don't care what my wife says. Okay, next up, Class 100 Des Taz. He says, I'm sure that name is shorter than that. He says, really glad you pointed me toward this plane. He's talking about the 60-inch laser V3. Man, that's another plane you can't go wrong with. Even if you're a sport flyer, the laser, oh, I love it. Yeah, I really, really love it. I flew the laser both days during the RCVR fly-in Saturday and Sunday. The 74-inch, man, I just love the laser. It is so good. The more I fly it, the more comfortable I am getting it. The more comfortable I'm getting, and I'm able to transition my learning from my Twisted Hobbies 540 to this plane really easily. Yep. Laser makes even Dave look like he's got some skill, you know? I mean, even Dave looks pretty good flying a laser. So I'm just saying, try it out. All right, Wayne Miller, 6070 says, thanks for the review. Thanks, Dave, for doing the swap for us to be able to check it out. I like the channel, I like the color scheme on the ARS. Looks like it flies great, John. Absolutely spot on. Great motor, great color scheme. Hey, that green and white and blue color scheme on that plane looked fantastic in the sky. It really does. Very easy to see it up there. I'm telling you guys, I'd love it if somebody else got an ARS 300 and said, holy crap, I love this plane. It's really good. So try them out, man. They're good airplanes. All right, Kevin says, great video. The Boxer seems to have been replaced by the Gx12. No, I don't think so. I don't think the Gx12 is a replacement. I think they kind of serve different masters. I really think the Gx12, I think it's kind of like it's really for something that's got a computer, right? Like a flybarless or an iNav or a Betaflight or something like that. I really think that's who they're targeting this one to. And part of the reason I say that, listen, here's one of the reasons I say it. I did a video, one of the pilot jams, I showed you guys how to change these switches. You can take all this stuff off. If you don't want any of this, you take the switch cover off, you pull the switches out, disconnect them from the radio, put the blanking plates in, screw it back in, and now you've got a nice clean radio, like you might fly with Betaflight, right? With Betaflight, you might need maybe 2 switches. Maybe that's it. Maybe a couple of momentaries down here that you can program. You see what I'm saying? I think it's really targeted for the computer users. And part of that is because of the digital 1000 hertz gimbals and the configurability, because if you're flying, something with an abstraction layer, you don't need all this stuff. So I'm just saying it's not really a replacement for the Boxer. I think the Boxer is a really good radio for either, entry level to save you a little bit of money. If you're just getting into the hobby, you want something a little simpler, maybe not as many buttons and knobs and dials and complexity as the TX16S. And it'll also help you when you're first putting the initial outlay out. There's a little bit cheaper, a little bit more easy to manage. And it's got some nice styling options too. And it's functional. Oh, by the way, some people with the screen, it's got the black and white screen, super easy to see outside. Color screens, not always easy to see outside. So I don't think the Boxer's going away. I really don't. I think they'll maintain these. I think it's a misnomer to say that the Gx12 replaces the Boxer. I disagree with that. I disagree. Okay, let's see. We're going back to the blackboard. Okay. And let's see. I think this is it here. Good God, thank you, sir. Completely saved my ass and my bricked radio. I'm always happy to hear that. Some people have issues with their radios and their firmware updates, and I'm really happy to have videos out there that help them recover. So glad we're able to help there to Alexi, 22 Alexi, and I was right. That's the end of the questions. So we'll switch back over to the desktop. We're going to check. Do you have a VTEL version of the test plane? No, I do not. But you can always practice your mixes using your flaps and ailerons. Work the same way. Let's see. Off access says 100% on ELRS, I'm sure. And Fred says, here I am still flying heli. Yep, on OTX. You definitely fallen behind, my friend. We need to trash that OpenTX piece of junk radio you fly and get you something modern. I'm just saying, man. We need to get you something modern. Mr. FMG10 says, I love ELRS. I've had some problems with the Gemini receivers, though. They overheat and don't work reliability. Yep, no comment, man. Honestly, I haven't put them through the test, so I have no comment. But see, that's one of the things I love about the 2.4 ELRS. It just freaking works. I mean, it just works. Speaking of replacements, says Bill, I have the Skywing 67 ARS, love the colors, and it flies great. Well, Dan, I'm glad to hear that, man. I really do think it's an underrated plane. I never see anybody flying them. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right. That's it for Q&A. I've hit all the comments. Woo! Giveaway time. All right. We're giving it away. We're giving something away. Let's get the giveaway scene up. Here are the rules. In order for the giveaway, if you want to play in the giveaway, it's simple. Here are the rules. Pay attention. Fred, pay attention. The winner is picked by software from comments. I'll do that on Wednesday night sometime. Could be, I don't know, Wednesday at midnight, maybe 1 a.m., maybe 11 p.m. I don't know, sometime around then. So get your comments in before Wednesday around midnight-ish. I'm a former military, and I used to, with these things, I'd say, well, it's going to be at midnight. But, I realize that sometimes I don't want to freaking stay up till midnight. And that means I don't want to go pull in comments at 12:15 a.m. So I'm not going to anymore. I'm making the rules here. And my rule is I'll do it sometime after 12:05. How do you like me now? Now, you got to put your gimme in the comments after the video post. Putting it in a chat like that is not going to help you. It won't help. You got to do it after, in the comments of the video, not in the chat, okay? So use gimme or gimme in your comment. Enter as many times as you want. Not going to help you putting it in chat like that. In fact, you're probably going to annoy one of the moderators, and they're going to put you in timeout or something. Probably Freddie will get involved. Fred will give a timeout. Doesn't help to put it in comments, guys. Not going to help you. Okay, so winner will be announced on the 2/7 PilotJam, which is a week from tonight. So that's the only place that I'll make that announcement. I'm not going to make it in Telegram. I'm not going to send you a freaking email. I'm not going to text your girlfriend. I'm not going to call your mama. I'm going to do it on the PilotJam. So don't fall for any of those scammers out there who are going to send you Telegram notices going, hey, you won the prize from RC Video Reviews. I just need you to send me $400 for shipping and we'll send you your prize. Don't fall for that, okay? We will only announce it here on the PilotJam. YouTube, by the way, not associated with this giveaway, okay? Number 3, winner only. If you don't win, you don't send me your damn driver's license, you knucklehead. Stop sending me your driver's licenses if you don't win. If you don't win, I don't want your driver's license. You only if you win the prize do you send me an email showing me that you're over the age of 18 by 2/8/25 because I don't deal with minors. And you send that to john@rcvideoreviews.com. You must include your exact mailing address for the prize. The only thing I need to see is your name, your address, and the fact that you're over the age of 18. I don't care about your blood type. I don't care about your do not resuscitate orders. I don't care about your social security number. I don't care about any. I don't want to see any of that stuff. I just want to see your address, your name, and the fact that you're over the age of 18. That's it. Okay? You can redact anything else off your license you want. If you fail to send me that, then I'm going to pick another winner. And I use Google for my email platform, so you can't take it down, you can't crack it, and it works 1,000% all the time. So if you don't send me the email, it's your fault, not mine. I'll pick another winner. That's the rule. You don't like it? Too bad. Number 4, no comms via Telegram. Number 5, no email, no prize, alternate winner selected. That's it. Bottom line, done. Okay. Now let's talk about what you win. What we win is a setup plane. How cool is that? I'm giving away a setup plane. I've got this one. It's in silver and white. Those are kind of like the RCVR colors. You need a little red in there, but silver and white. I'm going to send that anywhere in the world. You don't have to be in the US to win it. There's no shipping. The only thing you'll pay is VAT or taxes. I'm not responsible for that. I will cover shipping to you. It'll be in a little padded envelope. I'll ship it anywhere in the world. Again, I don't pay VAT. I don't pay taxes, but I will cover the shipping. Okay? So that's what we're giving away, a little test model. There's a link in the description of my Etsy store to show how to put it together and what other parts you need. I'm not sending the hardware, okay? I'm only sending the 3D material. All right, so there's not going to be any servos or control rods or anything. You'll need to source that hardware. 9-gram servos work great. Go to the Etsy store, look at the description. It'll show you how to do everything. There's instructions. It's all there, okay, to show you how to put it together. So RCVR 2 3D printed test plane, that's the giveaway item for tonight. And it flies as far as you can throw it, Fred. All right, that's the giveaway. All right, that's that. Now, in terms of what's coming up. Okay, we have some stuff coming up. The first thing is we have the super secret, top secret, military grade encryption video that will get 1 million views because I said it will. It's 1 million views for sure. It's coming soon to an RC Video Reviews channel near you. Tell your friends. 1 million views. I've been assured. 1 million views. That's what's going to happen. And if we don't get a million, you guys are going to need to watch it more than once. Like, just keep watching it, okay? Because 1 million is what I'm told it should do. 1 million views. And then, of course, the channel is going to explode. We're going to add 50 or 60,000 subscribers, and we're going to boom, right? It's going to happen. 1 million views. That's the target. Coming. So that's big. And then after that, you'll be seeing some RCVR fly-in footage. I've got Bert on video flying his Ilgoblin Pro, and I did an interview with Bert, so he's going to talk a little bit about what he's learned on rotor flight. So that'll be coming. Hey, check out the M2. Look at that. Isn't that a cool little helicopter? I love that thing. It's fun. It's a fun helicopter. Okay, so we've got the RCVR flying videos coming. We got the super top secret military grade encryption video coming, and we have the Sunnysky programming video coming. So that's all on the way. And I'm looking for the next airframe, and I have a bead on something. I have to call my man Dave. Dave, stay awake, man. I got to make a phone call. We got to talk. Got to talk to Dave. Got a thing. And Fred has photogenic evidence. He was there. He's got the top secret, super secret squirrel, must need to know clearance for that video. So Fred knows all about what's going on here. Fred, it's 1 million views, right? That's what we're getting, right? 1 million views. 1 million views and at least 50 or 60,000 subscribers. So the channel should double overnight. All right, there we go. So that's what's coming. Tell your friends, man. RC Video Reviews. That wraps up the PilotJam for tonight. I hope you guys had a fun time. I had a fun time. I'm going to go eat some dinner, maybe get a beer. And I think Fred and I are going to be doing a little flying tonight. We're going to be doing a little fun. Oh, yeah, Fred, that's right. Skids Up. I was on the Skids Up podcast this week. I don't know when they're going to publish that. It might already be out. So check out the Skids Up podcast. I was on with Frank and Steve and that crew doing the Skids Up podcast. Had a great time. It was like 2 hours long. We had a good time. It was fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the PilotJam tonight. Thanks for joining me on a Friday night. I hope you get out there if you can. I hope the weather is pleasant and you can get out there and fly something. Go fly something. That's what I'm saying. Get out there and fly something. Have a great night, guys. Take it easy.